The truth was, my book just wasn't good enough for traditional publishing. Hi, my name is August Rose Crothers. I am an author and poet. I'm a content creator. I'm the founder of a romance literary magazine, and this is my first YouTube video. So it's August of 2020 and I just finished my first book. It's a passion project that I called Tindertales. I just finished editing. Back then I thought editing once would be enough. And I was going home after my shift at my local gym to sending out my manuscript to publishers. I remember that day so clearly, going home thinking that
soon I'm going to be a super successful New York Times bestselling author.
I was delusional. Here's all the mistakes that I made in my first attempt at traditional publishing. So after a few weeks of reaching out to small publishing houses and literary agents, I received
7 rejections.
First mistake in this was thinking that one round of editing would be enough. And my second mistake I made in the first submitting process was not having other experienced readers or writers look over my work. The third mistake that I made was not writing an absolute perfect, memorable, standout query letter to go with my perfect, standout, memorable manuscript. I didn't have that. With traditional publishing, the version that you send out to literary agents needs to be absolutely perfect. The plot needs to be thoroughly worked out, your characters need to be super memorable, and there shouldn't be any major spelling or grammatical errors. Back in August of 2020, one of my delusional beliefs, thinking that an agent or a publisher was just going to read my work and they were going to see how great it was in the sense of how great I thought it was, and that they were going to look over all of the mistakes that I made and just give me a shot anyway. And so I just started blindly submitting to small publishing houses and agents, which led to getting rejection after rejection after rejection. It was rough to handle, but I really needed the experience. I did get one yes though from a hybrid publisher, but that is a conversation that we're gonna have on a separate day because hybrid publishing is a very controversial topic. And so I decided to go back and edit Tindertales for a second time. That was in 2021 when I re-edited, and then I also wrote a much better letter to send out to agents.
That took about a year.
To give myself some credit, I did make some very thorough edits that fleshed out the story a lot better, and I made the male love interests in the book a lot more compelling. I took a webinar on query proposals and spent months writing what I thought was like the perfect proposal letter. It was better the second time around, but it still wasn't perfect. And so in 2022, I started to resubmit Tindertales with a much better manuscript and a much better proposal letter, and I
still saw rejection.
Although this time around I did receive much more constructive criticism and personalized feedback. That really helped me grow as an author. Fast forwarding a bit more in 2023, 6 months after beginning my freelance writing journey, which is something I could talk about in another video, I got my first full-time writing job at a local marketing group. This was crucial for me because of the relationships that I had made with my colleagues. They were all artists who really pushed me creatively, and one of those pushes was to get me to start self-publishing. At the time, about 2023, I had 2 books ready to self-publish, Tindertales and a poetry collection, and they were just like sitting in my drive doing nothing while I also had other projects that were almost done. Long story short, I decided to start pursuing self-publishing, and in January of 2024, I self-published my first book, Little Black Book, a collection of poems. I was promoting it heavy on social media, I was building relationships thanks to Book Talk, and I was really starting to see some progress. With that, from January to September, I posted on social media every single day. I was doing a ton of research on social media, on self-publishing, how to market, while also learning marketing, working in a marketing job. And in September of 2024, I decided to finally self-publish Tindertales and just get it out in the world. Self-publishing taught me so much. The biggest lesson being that I can open my own doors instead of waiting for somebody else to open them for me. Tindertales did not do well commercially. It didn't even do nearly as well as Little Black Book did, but that's okay. Releasing Tindertales was a personal success for me, and in order for me to move on, I had to accept that. I had to accept that it wasn't good enough for traditional publishing, but that doesn't mean that I wasn't good enough. Now, in 2025, I've accomplished a few more things, and I've really grown. My writing has grown, I have grown, my social media has grown, and here I am on YouTube making my first full-length content video. In the last 2 years, I've learned so much about writing, about social media, about self-publishing, about marketing, about myself. Not only have I learned all of these things, but I'm acting on them, opening more doors for myself. And writers and creators online that I meet who ask me questions, I just always suggest to start doing the same for yourself. You know the old saying, dreams don't work unless you do. Anyway, in my first YouTube video, an introduction of sorts. I'm excited to be here and I'm really excited to start making long form content. You can catch me on other socials such as Instagram, TikTok, and Substack. Please subscribe to this channel if you're looking for vlogs, informational and educational content about writing and social media, writing content, book content, cozy content, or if you just want to stay and be nosy about my writing journey. Okay, bye guys. See you some other time.